Hello from Seoul. You don't want to spend a lot of time making breakfast in the morning, right? Today, I'm gonna show you 5 super easy and simple toast recipes. What about the taste? Don't worry about it. They're the best. Are you guys ready? Let's get started. As always, let me start with the easiest one, grilled cheese. Some of you might say, Aaron, grilled cheese? No French toast? Really? You don't know anything about toast. Guys, don't worry about it. It's coming very soon. For grilled cheese, you will need bread, butter, and some cheese. So simple, right? That's why it comes first. Let's talk about bread now. Some of you might say white bread is the only way to go, but it doesn't really matter which kind of bread you use. So just grab any bread you have and try it. Now, butter each piece of bread. I'm using unsalted butter, but depending on your taste, you can also use salted butter, and if you prefer mayonnaise, you can use it too, but I prefer butter, so I'll go with this bad boy today. Place butter side down in a cold pan and put any kinds of cheese you prefer. I'm gonna put 4 slices of American cheese, but if you want more, you can definitely put as much as you want. Some people might say, ew, American cheese? That's not real cheese. Yeah, I know that, but for me, it tastes best with American cheese. Is it just me? Lastly, cover it with the other slice of bread, butter side facing up. All you need to do is just to toast it over medium heat until golden brown. It is so simple, right? But make sure to flip it occasionally if you don't want to end up with something like charcoal. Now it's done. Let's cut this in half. But before that, let me ask you one question. Do you guys do Instagram? If you do, you might want to post this, right? Normally, people cut this grilled cheese with 1 slice, but that way, you will never get a nice cheese pull. In other words, and that's not Instagram worthy, but don't worry about it. I'll help you get many hearts on Instagram. First, grab one of your knives. I want you to use a small knife, not a big one like this. Next, cut the bread carefully. But what is important here is you should not cut through the cheese. Only the bread part carefully, like a great sculptor who carves delicately. That's the key. After that, if you slowly pull apart, you can get this beautiful cheese pull. It is a sort of small tip, but you can definitely get great photos. Okay, let's go to our taste tester. Claire.
완전 장난 아니다. 첫 번째 메뉴부터 완전 내 스타일이잖아. 신난다. Look at this melted cheese. It's insane, right? Ready? 이거 별거 없는데 너무 맛있다. 겉에 식감 너무 재밌고 속에 치즈는 뭐 아무 설명이 필요 없지. 그냥 맛있지. 만약에 조금 더 짭조름하게 salted butter 썼었으면 더 맛있었을 것 같기도 해. 너무 맛있어. It's every cheese lover's dream. So good.
As you guys all expected, this time French toast. There are so many recipes for French toast, but what I'm gonna share today is a simple recipe that I loved for years. Again, we don't need many ingredients. You will need bread, egg, and whole milk. And if you have ground cinnamon, you can make a more flavorful, restaurant quality French toast. First, let's make the custard. Crack 4 eggs into a large mixing bowl. Add a half teaspoon of salt, 1.5 tablespoons of sugar, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and 3/4 cups of whole milk, and whisk all together. If you want to add more richness and flavor, add some heavy whipping cream. Now let's move on to bread. Again, you can use any kind of bread, but if you want to post it on Instagram and impress people around you, then I recommend using a loaf that is unsliced. Let's cut it into 3/4 of an inch or 2 cm thick slices. You don't care about the picture, but just want some quick and easy breakfast? Then just go for pre-sliced bread. That will work fine, so don't worry about it. Drop your slices into the custard and let them enjoy their private pull for a few seconds on each side. Right after that, put 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter into the pan and place it over medium heat. Once the butter is completely melted, place the soaked bread and toast it until both sides are golden brown. If you don't mind more calories or if you want to make it more flavorful, then you can add some more butter. Transfer it to a serving plate and add a pat of butter on top. For prettier presentation, you can arrange some frozen berries around the toast. And lastly, finish it off with some maple syrup. On special occasions, if you bring this beautiful French toast to your wife or husband who's in bed, I'm sure you can get a lot of brownie points. Alright, let's go to our taste tester. Claire.
베리가 오늘 내 옷 색깔이랑 너무 비슷한데? 잘 어울리지? Oh my god, I'm so excited. Ready? having breakfast at a fancy restaurant. So fancy. 나 솔직히 약간 이렇게 메이플 시럽 잔뜩 넣어가지고 먹어야 되는데 항상 무서워서 못 먹었었거든. 이렇게 먹으니까 진짜 맛있다. 장난 아니야. 오늘은 그냥 마음껏 즐길게. 이 메이플 시럽이랑 버터랑 시나몬 가루의 조합이 어마무시하다. 진짜 맛있어. 자기도 먹어봐. 너무 맛있다. 내가 프렌치 토스트를 많이 안 먹어봐서 그런지 모르겠는데 여태까지 먹어본 것 중에 제일 맛있어. I'm not lying.
The next one is egg in a hole. It's not a whole new recipe, but it's more like a variation to the second one. Since I'm gonna use the same custard from the previous one, let's skip the custard part. First of all, make a hole in the center with a measuring cup. If you can press it because of its handle, fold it in half and press it like this. Pretty good tip, right? Now drop the bread into the custard and let it sit to soak up the liquid. Put 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter into the pan, which is preheated over medium heat, and toast the bread. Once it gets golden brown, flip it over and cook the other side. If it needs more butter, you can add additional butter or a little bit of cooking oil into the hole. Finally, it's time to crack an egg. Now you're gonna face the greatest challenge. That's right, flipping. Once the bottom of the egg is cooked, you need to flip it quick as flash, but probably the runny egg will be everywhere in your kitchen. Disaster. So if you trust yourself, go for it. But if you don't, please put a lid on. This way, your egg will be more tender and softer by the steam. Alright, place it nicely on a serving plate and sprinkle some salt, pepper, and parsley flakes. Depending on your taste, you can serve it with some ketchup or any other sauce you like. Okay, let's go Claire.
Claire?
자기야, 이거는 빵보다는 계란이 주인공인 것 같은데? 빵이 다 사라졌어. Ready? Yeah. Every time I get one of these runny egg yolk, I'm so excited. 이게 묘하게 설탕이랑 소금이 묘하게 대조되어 있어, 속에. 계피의 향이 은은하게 느껴지긴 하는데 나 계피 향을 너무 좋아해서 그런지 더 팍팍 넣었으면 좋겠어. 조금 아쉬워. 나이스. 나는 케찹이랑 그닥 안 어울릴 것 같은데 과연 어울릴 것인가? 맛있네.
This time, I'm gonna show you how to make Korean street toast. It is quick and easy, but perfect for your breakfast. You will need bread, cheese, a slice of ham, egg, cabbage, carrot, and green onion. Even if you don't have 1 or 2 from the list, you can still make it. So please don't give up, because this is awesomely delicious. First, let's prep the vegetables. Slice some cabbage and carrot. If you have an onion, you can add it too. They're so good together. And then chop some green onion. For more beautiful color, I recommend using both parts of green onion, white and green. Next, put all the vegetables into a mixing bowl and crack 2 eggs. Lastly, add some salt and pepper to season and mix it well. Depending on your preference, spread some butter or mayonnaise on the bread and toast it in a pan. If you don't like both, then you can simply go for a toaster. It's all up to you. Once you get the perfect color in your mind, place it on a serving plate or a cutting board. Melt 1 tablespoon of butter in the pan and pour the egg mixture. For information, when you cook the eggs, it's better to use a small pan rather than a big one, because we're gonna put this omelette between the bread like a patty. But if the pan is too large, your omelette will be too big for the bread. Also, it will be cooked too fast as soon as you pour the egg mixture, so it's hard to get a nice and fluffy texture. Now place it on your bread nicely. You don't have a big pan, so your omelette is too big. It's alright. You can cut it to fit your bread or just fold it. No problem at all. Next, sprinkle some sugar, about a half teaspoon. I wanna say this sugar is optional, but no, it's not. It makes a big difference. That little extra sweetness will help reduce the bitterness in your cabbage. For information, street food vendors put a lot more than I did. Trust me, I try to put the minimum amount of sugar because I care about your health. So please don't say it's too much. I tried my best. Anyway, on top of it, let's put some ketchup, a slice of ham, American cheese, and a top piece of toast. That's it. It's ready to go now, but let's cut it in half and check the inside. How does it look? It looks absolutely beautiful and delicious, right? You know what? Street toast tastes the best when it's warm. So let's call Claire right away.
Claire?
엄청 예쁘네. 프렌치 토스트가 서양 사람들한테 조식의 대명사라면 이건 바쁜 한국인들의 조식의 대명사라고 할 수 있지. Look at these layers. Aren't they so beautiful? Ready? 맛있죠? 추억 돋는 맛이다. 나 이거 대학생 때 학교 수업 끝나고서 배고프면 자주 사 먹었거든. 그때는 용돈이 많진 않아가지고 치즈랑 햄은 빼고 계란만 있는 걸로 먹었는데 하나하나 추가하면 돈이 한 500원씩 막 늘어났거든. 그래가지고 어쩔 수 없이 맨날 계란만 있는 걸로 먹었거든. 훨씬 럭셔리하고 맛있다. 근데 바깥에서 사 먹었을 때는 확실히 여기에 설탕이 더 많이 있잖아. 설탕이 씹히는 소리가 날 정도로 정말 설탕을 많이 뿌려주잖아. 조금 그게 더 맛있긴 하다. 그 부분에서는 설탕이 조금 맛있긴 한데 그냥 건강한 느낌으로 맛있는 것 같아.
The last one is egg toast, which is similar to egg salad. Honestly, it's more like a breakfast sandwich than a toast. But I don't know, as long as it's tasty, that's what matters. You will need bread, egg, bacon, cheese, whole milk, sweetened condensed milk, mayonnaise, and sriracha. Compared to the previous recipes, it seems a lot of ingredients, but don't worry about it. Still, it's super simple and easy. Let's start with the sauce. We're gonna make two kinds of sauce. The first one is mayo sauce. Put 1 tablespoon of mayonnaise, 1 tablespoon of sweetened condensed milk, and mix it. If you don't have a sweetened condensed milk, I suggest adding some honey instead. The second one is sweet and spicy sauce. Put 1 tablespoon of sweetened condensed milk, a half tablespoon of sriracha, and mix together. You don't have a condensed milk or honey? Then just go for mayonnaise this time. You don't have it either? Then please get creative. There must be something that works in your fridge. Now let's move on to the bread. It's totally fine to use this kind of pre-sliced bread, but I'm gonna use a loaf and slice it myself. Please cut the loaf into thick pieces. It's about 2 slices of bread and then cut it in half. But what is important here is you should not cut all the way down. Leave a little bit down there and make a little pocket. It's not necessary, but the reason why I'm doing this is this will allow you to experience the most incredible bite at the end. All the juice coming from the ingredients will be soaked into the bottom, so that even the bottom crust without the toppings will be still absolutely delicious. This is basically the same concept as Shake Shack's bun, but to be honest, in the busy morning, I wouldn't do that. Anyway, back to the point. Spread butter on both sides and toast it. Still, I feel like I'm making a sandwich rather than a toast. But since I do toast, please generously accept this as a kind of toast. I would appreciate that. Alright, remove the bread from the pan and spread the sauce we made. The mayo sauce for one side and the sweet and spicy sauce for the other side. Next, we're gonna grill our bacon. To make perfect toast, you should put exactly 43.67 grams of bacon. I'm kidding. You're not bringing your scale, are you? Just grill as much as you like. For me, the more, the better, because I'm a meat lover. Now put American cheese and the bacon. All we have left is to make soft scrambled eggs and put it in the bread. In a mixing bowl, add 2 eggs, 2 tablespoons of whole milk, 1 tablespoon of sugar, a pinch of salt, and whisk it. After that, put 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter in the pan and make scrambled eggs. What is important in this step is the egg should not be fully cooked. I'll say 80% would be perfect. Why? Because it's gonna continue to cook by the remaining heat while you are adding other ingredients or taking some pictures for your Instagram. Now put these beautiful scrambled eggs into the bread. For a prettier presentation, place a lot more on top of the bread rather than the inside, because we eat first with our eyes. Lastly, sprinkle some parsley flakes and finish it off with the leftover mayo sauce. This is it. How does it look? Isn't it gorgeous? If you need to score brownie points, this is it. Little effort, beautiful presentation, and amazing taste. It will be like killing 3 birds with 1 stone. Whoever it is, they can't help falling in love with you. Alright, let me prove it.
Claire. 대박. 밖에서 파는 거랑 완전 똑같네. Look at this. It's amazing, right? 그냥 보기만 해도 배부른 느낌이다. 와, 얘는 예쁜데 이거를 한 입에 먹을 내 모습은 안 예쁠 것 같은데? 어떡해? 어떻게 먹으라는 거야? Okay, let me try. 아직 속에 거 다 먹지도 않았는데 계란만 먹어도 맛있다. 너무 부드럽고 촉촉해. 그리고 소스가 달콤한데 난 안 어울릴 줄 알았거든? 잘 어울린다. 맛있다. It's so good. I can't stop eating it. 버터를 좋아하기는 하는데 오늘 버터를 많이 먹었더니 조금 느끼하다. 이거 끝나고 나서 칼칼한 김치찌개 하나를 끓여라!
Today I shared 5 toast recipes for your wonderful breakfast. Was it for toast and 1 sandwich? I don't know. That doesn't matter. What is important is they are super easy and delicious at the same time. So why don't you impress your family or friends with these recipes? Alright, this is it for today and I'll see you next time.